Hello, this is Ronald with Indicator Vault, and in this video I'm going to go over our trend trading cloud indicator, and it's kind of two parts. It's the trend trading cloud and the cloud signal lines. And first, just quickly go over the settings for the trading cloud part. It uses an ATR period that you can change. You can alter the colors and how it looks. Not a whole lot with that. Cloud signal lines, very much similar. You can change the colors. The median color is this line here, the green line, and alert settings and such. So let's get into it. So if you're familiar with clouds, typically they are kind of acting as zones price is going to play around in, and kind of like a dynamic support resistance lines, and basically just showing you where trend is going to go, right? And now for this one, we have the cloud signal, which I use as basically confirming an overbought or oversold area where we see impulsive swings. For instance, this one, right? We have the arrow confirming a bearish zone, right? We have the bullish zone, which is now the cloud is telling us it's forming a bearish setup in a trend. We can see it does. But look here at the cloud signal. When it goes above the green line and turns blue, the way I interpret that is it is now price has confirmed this as an overbought zone. And I will look for a supply area for price to retrace and come back into, right? So as I see this initial strong impulse down, I'm not necessarily getting in this move just yet, but until I see this blue line form and break above the median line. So okay, now that's now confirmed that this is indeed an overbought area. So I would draw my supply zone from here. I would, I like to see stronger candles such as this one, and you could draw that one as well. I like to stick with more of the recent candles. But this one and this one, not necessarily as big as I would like or as convincing, so I included the other recent one in this zone. But we also like to use fibs with confirming certain zones. And it may be hard to tell here, but the low on this candle is right there. It's not including these lines. That's part of the cloud. So we see price impulse, has a strong impulse down, confirms this range, comes back up. You can see the 70.5 is just below the zone. So you could, we see price wicks into it. You could get in there. I personally would have used a 70.5 level instead of a 61.8 level here, just because these aren't overlapping with our zone. So I would have used the one that is closer to the zone, right? We use a stop above there. Let's say 52. Now, just to create a lower low, you're looking at like 2.5 R, which is fine. Not super great, but that is the most conservative and first area we would look for it to take, which we can see it does take here. But we can line things up, such as the first standard deviation of the fib. I mean, that's over 300 pips. That's 6 to 1 R&R. That's an incredible trade. We can see it, once it leaves this area, it just touches it once, twice, and never returns until it goes to our first standard deviation. You can see it goes a little bit below, but that would be a great confirmation to even hold the majority of your trade, not just take partials here, but to hold a majority of the trade, because the first standard deviation of the fib that we're taking our entry from is a great take profit. And to include the indicator even more, we can look and see how price is still staying in this overbought area the entire time, even though we have these strong impulses down. The indicator is telling us these are still reasons to sell from, right? It's not telling us there's any oversold areas to look for buys. Yeah, we can see some moves up for sure in here, but they're just retracements to continue the move down. And so these are even confirmations to follow the trend and stay with the trend, right? And of course, this whole time we see, the maroon colored cloud telling us price is still going to stay bearish. But let's say you wanted to look for some other entries, so price is telling us that it's, we should still be looking for bearish movements down, right? So I've taken off the markings, but remember, we've gotten in the trade up here off of the confirmation of this supply zone, as the line is now turned blue, telling us overbought this entire way. So we have confirmation to continue to look for sells. But just like many oscillating indicators, we can even use this to spot divergence as well. So from here to here, we see an uptrend, right? This leg went higher than this high. But here are the same spots on the indicator did not make that higher high. And so it's telling us price is still wanting to be weak. That it's telling us that this move up is just a false breakout. It's just taking the stops above this high, that it actually wants to continue lower. And as we can see, a massive hourly candle, just that candle alone is almost 200 pips right there. And so you could go into smaller time frames, maybe find some fibs, maybe find some 15-minute or 5-minute supply areas to take a trade off of. But if we spot this on the hourly, remember this candle here, we could have gotten some time maybe inside this wick here, to get in a trade, because once this candle is poking higher, even before this candle closes, we can easily spot the divergence here, where the indicator is saying, telling us, giving us hints and clues that this is actually a fake out. This is not, price telling us it wants to go higher. So you can use that as even divergence confirmation. But look here, we get rid of that. We have a break of structure with this candle. If we wanted to draw this as a supply area, we certainly could. See, price has tapped into it. Let's draw a fib. There's the low of the range. We see it's right now just, playing around the 70.5 level. And so, again, the indicator, it's still telling us overbought. We've got some confirmations of a supply zone and a fib retracement. And so this is even looking good if we wanted to see continuation down even more, you know, about a 57, 56 pip stop. First take profit would be about 180 pips. So that's over a 3 to 1, maybe like about a 3.5 to 1 R&R. And that would not be bad, a bad trade if it played out. Again, the indicator is still telling us overbought, overbought, overbought. You know, the cloud is still red, saying downtrend. And so, you know, with a great first entry up here, it's moved over 360 pips so far, and you could continue to take partials along the way, and it's even giving other entries and other hints and clues that price still wants to move down. And so I hope this video helped. That's all for now, and until next time, best of luck trading.